Hey guys, this is Veritas Files coming at you with a predictive report here. Had some people asking me what I thought specifically was going to happen in the next little while, and I wanted to go ahead and put that down in the video, let you know what I was thinking. Before I do that, let me throw a shout out to some of the YouTube guys and girls that have made a difference in my thinking. That'd be Mr. Controversial George for Title, now inflation.us, KittenKattan, DEMCAD, Crabbydogtrix, Josiah's Backpack, Carmen at the Cassandra Review, and there's several other, LBCMaddog, Chan, the Sharpened Pen. And there's probably, 20 or 30 others that I've forgotten to mention. In terms of economists, it's going to be the obvious. It's going to be Peter Schiff. It's going to be Mark Faber, Jim Rogers, to some degree Max Kaiser, though I hate the guy's voice. Just want to tell you guys what I'm thinking is going to take place in the next 6 months to 5 or 6 years. I think we're looking at essentially a collapse of the United States as we know it. Now most of you are saying duh, but what I'm going to describe a little bit is what that might look like. I think we're going to see the dates for when things like Medicare, Medicaid, and Social Security become insolvent. I think those are going to be revised backward continually, closer to today, as the economy worsens. I think we're looking at a continuing decline in home values and commercial real estate for several more years, and I think we're looking at a pretty much an absolute collapse in that environment. I think you're going to be seeing 50 to 70% of all retail stores in the United States go out of business. I think you're going to see unemployment raised to not 16.5 where it is now, but something closer to 30 to 50% higher than the Depression era levels, so 30 to 50% unemployment. I think you're going to see states go belly up, and I think you're going to see other states go belly up in certain aspects, like pension funds. I think there's going to be tens of thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of people that are dependent upon government pensions that are going to stop getting paid, are going to be told 2 weeks before they retire that they're not going to get paid. And I think that's going to have a domino effect on the rest of the economy as American citizens decide to either turn their backs on their families or take them in and care for an elderly family member for years, possibly, when they themselves are holding on by the skin of their teeth to a job, maybe a part-time job, maybe a full-time job. Nonetheless, it's going to be difficult. And they're not going to be buying new computers, new TVs, new cars, or bolstering this fake consumer economy. I think you're going to be looking at the United States dropping off in terms of its military power. The United States is no longer going to be able to be a policeman. It's not going to be able to stop nation states from running roughshod over the neighbors. We are going to be focused mainly on maintaining order in our own country, because I think we're also probably going to see the collapse or near collapse of Mexico, which is going to make our situation worse. I think the U.S. military is going to be turned into largely a straight-legged infantry force. Some of it will be mechanized, but most of it will not. They'll still have some aircraft. They'll focus mainly on helicopters and drones. And the Navy will be much, much, much smaller. And the point is, they will not be able to project power in the same way, at least not outside their own borders. I think you're going to see wars like you've never seen before. They're not going to be in one country, but they're going to be in 3, 4, and 5 countries all at once, possibly all part of the same war. I think you're going to see that followed by massive famines, and I think you're going to see simultaneous, massive, deadly diseases spreading across the globe. I think this is bad news, pretty much regardless of your position. I mean, it's going to be good news in some ways, good news for me in some ways, because it's going to mean that people are open to the truth when they have had everything ripped away from them. And that is never a bad thing. The more you get your life in line with reality, the better off you're going to be. And I think that'll be one consequence of all this happening. But what does this mean for you and I in practical terms? It means you need to do the things that I mentioned in the risk mitigation outline. It means that you need to get N95 masks, dust masks. You need to get paint respirators, whatever you can get a hold of, with carbon filters, and make sure you get replacement filters. You need to get water filtration devices, multiple kinds, multiple replacement filters. You need to stock up on trash bags. You need to stock up on plastic sheeting. You need to stock up on duct tape. You need to stock up on food. You need to have barterable goods, ammunition, liquor, clothing, food, precious metals. You need to have a significant amount of precious metals, silver and gold, multiple denominations, multiple sizes, from multiple countries, or multiple mints. You need to have physical assets. You need to have real estate, preferably out of town, out of major cities, preferably away from major highways. When I say major highways, I'm talking about interstates, things like that. You need to continue to talk to your friends and neighbors. Some people have to be made to understand. We're looking at rough times ahead of us, folks. Think about getting together with people that are of like mind, and not just talking with them, but exchanging phone numbers, meeting on a regular basis, developing plans together, developing spots to meet at, fallback positions, emergency contacts, so forth and so on. You're going to have to start thinking in terms of life and death survival instead of how do I make it past this recession. Because, you know, if I have not made it clear enough, this is ultimately not really a recession. This is a depression, and it's going to be unlike anything that you or I have ever experienced, and it's not going to be like the last depression. After the safety nets are all removed, and there's nothing beneath us, we are going to fall a whole lot further than those who lived through it 80 years ago. They started out in the basement. Most of these people were poor. They grew some of their own food, or they had known people that did. They weren't that far separated from the land. We can barely get by without our internet and our iPods. I'd rather fall 5 feet than fall 50, and we're about to fall 50. So, what can I say? Hope you guys will take this seriously, and hopefully I'll be posting new videos soon. Thanks a lot, and God bless.